I was chatting to two guys on a dirt track road surrounded by fields somewhere, and it was a nice sunny day, and they were telling me about a place that they were trying to find. Then one of the guys handed me some written directions on a piece of paper on how to get to the place they were looking for. The dream switched, and I was in a car with a woman driving down a country road trying to find the place that the guys had told us about. I felt like we'd been in the car for ages, and we were driving up steep, narrow, winding roads. The dream switched again, and we got out of the car in front of a huge stone mansion. I saw the name of the mansion on a stone plaque, but it wasn't the one that we were looking for. So we got back in the car and continued driving up the steep, narrow, winding roads. The woman stopped the car again, and I said that I think that we're lost. And then I looked to my right, and we saw a small village with a few stone buildings in it that looked that they were over 100 years old, but not a person in sight, as if it had been abandoned. I looked in front of me, and there was another steep, narrow, winding road, but we had no idea where it led. I looked back at the directions that the guys had given us, and none of the street names matched none of the street names that we'd passed on our drive. I looked to my left, and there was a big old-fashioned mansion stood on its own grounds in the distance at the top of a long driveway. I remember thinking that we must be pretty high up because we'd been driving up steep, winding roads for ages. Then I said to the woman, we can either continue driving up these steep, winding, narrow roads, or we can get out of the car and see what the name of this mansion is. I remember seeing loads of leaves everywhere as if it was autumn, despite it being spring or summer when we were chatting to the guys earlier. The dream switched again, and I was inside one of the bedrooms of the mansion. And I was looking through the drawers somewhere to put my luggage. There were a few old coins and some other bits of rubbish in the drawers, and I remember thinking that the drawers were about 6 feet tall because I couldn't reach the top drawer. I ended up putting my luggage in one of the drawers, and then I remember trying to find one of my black boots, but I could only find one of them. And I found another black boot that belonged to someone else. The dream switched, and I was outside the mansion with the woman from the car, and we were stood in the grounds of the mansion in some wooded area surrounded by trees. I told the woman that I didn't think we was at the place that we were looking for, and then she replied and said, "You've got odd boots on," which I thought was odd, and then I woke up.